Hello, I'm Danny Burke, and I kind of have a strange physical ability. I can twist my thumb backwards. Look. Can you see that? Yes, that's a bit weird, isn't it? I have been told that before. However, some of the people in today's video have abilities, both physical and mental, that seem like they're straight out of a comic book or something, but they're totally real, and these are their incredible stories. This is the top 10 conditions that made people superhuman. Starting off at number 10 now, we have Daniel Kish. This 51-year-old from California had his eyes removed as a child due to retina cancer. His blindness hasn't stopped him from getting around though. Daniel uses echolocation to navigate, the same technique that bats use. He makes high-pitched frequency clicking sounds which bounce off objects around him and help him to see his surroundings. And when I say see, I really mean it. He actually forms images in the visual cortex of his brain, despite never seeing anything since he was a year old. Next up at number 9 now, we have Zamora the Torture King. This guy might sound like a villain from a bad 80s movie, but that's just his stage name. His real name is Tom Cridland, and he doesn't dish out torture, he takes it. A lot of it. Tim has an insanely high pain threshold. He may not even have one at all. He uses this to his advantage in his stage show, pushing large skewers through his body with absolutely no pain, apparently. And I don't just mean the skin either, I'm talking about right through the muscle. Yeah, and all of that. I'm sure some of you guys are now looking away from the screen. Don't worry, I feel you too. Let's move on to our number 8 now, which is Stephen Wiltshire. This man has a photographic memory, and when I say that, I don't mean how your friend says they have a photographic memory because they can remember a page of a textbook. I mean a real one, like a crazy good one. Stephen is an autistic architect who paints and draws cityscapes with astonishing detail after having only observed them for just a few minutes. His skill has earned him the nickname of the human camera. If you'd like to see a proper demonstration of his abilities, there's a great video of Stephen drawing the New York skyline perfectly after just a short helicopter ride around it. Next up at number 7 now, we have Liam Hoekstra. Liam was adopted at birth. His parents first noticed something was different when he could lift things that no other kid his age could. The doctors realized he had an extremely rare condition known as myostatin related muscle hypertrophy. At 3 years old, he had a muscle mass of 40% and could do multiple chin-ups effortlessly. Now, because this is such a new medical condition to science, scientists are studying Liam closely for two reasons. Firstly, for his own health. His abnormal muscle growth could affect the most important muscle of all, his heart. Also, they believe his condition could hold the key to combating muscle wasting diseases in other people. Alright, moving on to number 6 now, we have Daniel Tammet. This British man is an autistic savant with a brain that has baffled and fascinated scientists. He is gifted in both numbers and language. He can remember pi to 22,500 decimal places. He learned Icelandic in just 7 days and then had a TV interview on Icelandic television. He has synesthesia, which allows him to see numbers as a 3D landscape in his mind, full of colours and shape. Daniel sees every single number from 0 to about 10,000 as a 3D shape with a unique colour and texture. The number 1, for example, is shiny and bright. 15 is white, yellow, lumpy and round. When he multiplies numbers together, he looks at the space between the two shapes, and that space is the shape of the answer. It's honestly mind-blowing to me. Alright, the next person on our list uses their head in a very different way. At number 5 now, we have Gino Martino. This American professional wrestler has a genetic trait that's left him with a very thick skull. 16mm thick to be precise. That's over 2.3 times more than the average skull. What does he do in his spare time with this very thick skull? He smashes his head over things. His demonstrations have included bending steel bars and breaking iron bars over his head, snapping a baseball bat over his head, and having 16-pound bowling balls dropped on his head from about 15 feet in the air. He also smashes concrete with his head. He can clearly do all of these things, but does that mean that it's good for him? Jury is still out. Alright, moving on to number 4 now, we have Derek Paravicini. This English savant was born extremely prematurely, leaving him with a severe learning disability and autism. He can also play any piece of music perfectly after hearing it just once. Something inside his brain has given him a musical ability that some people describe as occurring just once in a generation. Sometimes he's heard a song, never practiced it, and then years later reproduced it note for note perfectly. At the number 3 spot now we have Wim Hof. This 58-year-old Dutchman is also known as the Iceman. Now he has an insane ability to resist extreme cold. I'm not talking about a t-shirt on a cold day. Some of his accomplishments are mind-blowing. He holds 26 world records, including for the longest ice bath. He climbed Mount Everest in just shorts and shoes, the same with Mount Kilimanjaro. He immersed himself in ice for 1 hour and 52 minutes. He also does marathons too. He did one in Finland in minus 20 degrees and another in the Namib desert without any water at all, so it seems he's heat resistant too. He teaches his Wim Hof method to people who want to achieve the same mastery as him, although he has also been blamed for 4 separate deaths of people who were trying to copy him. At the number 2 spot now we have Hafthor Bjornsson. You may know him as the Mountain from Game of Thrones. In real life, Hafthor is a professional strongman, and he's finished in the top standings in the world's strongest man competition on multiple occasions. He's basically ridiculously strong. If any further proof was needed, he broke a 1,000-year-old Viking record in 2015. It involved carrying a 32-foot long, 1,433 pound log for 5 steps. In the old Viking legend, the man who did this ended up just breaking his back and could never walk again. But Hafthor was absolutely fine, leading some people to question, is he even human? And finally, number 1 now, we have Daniel Browning Smith. Daniel from Mississippi has a form of Ehlers-Danlos syndrome that has made him the most flexible person in the world, possibly in all of history. When you look at these pictures, it's easy to see how Daniel has earned himself the nickname of Rubber Boy. He has 7 entries in the Guinness Book of World Records. One time, he famously fit his entire body through an unstrung tennis racket, like you do. He went on to host Stan Lee's Superhumans in the search for other real-life superheroes, kind of like the ones we have been talking about in our list today, although I don't think any of them could fit through a tennis racket. I could. No, I couldn't. Alright guys, that is that. Which was your favourite in this video? Apart from me twisting my thumb backwards, of course. We all know that's the best superhuman ability. As always, my name is Danny Burke. Thank you for watching, and I will see you all in the next video.